What's up, friends? It's Voltfirecore, and welcome to my first video of 2024. What am I wearing? I don't really know. It's my my cat pizza shirt. I picked it up because I thought it was funny, and also I like shirts that tuck. I feel very fancy for this video, but this video is not going to be fancy. Do not worry. So as you saw by the title of the video, this is going to be mostly about my 3x3 of video games, which, if you don't know, my cats are fighting by the door. I had my door like cracked and my cat just like slipped through it like jello. Anyways, a 3x3 is just like the 9 games that you like the most. So I don't know if people usually order them from their least favorite to their favorite, but I'm gonna do that. Also, I do want to mention, if I do sniffle inside this video, cough, look a little bit delirious, it's because I'm getting over I was about to say pretty bad sickness, but I'm really not that sick. So I decided to, no, not that. I'm doing this, which is exciting, but the reason I'm doing it randomly now, after I've been gone for like 2 weeks and I'm coming back with this random video, and I'm still sick, most people put it off. I was creatively inspired. That's something that most of you aspiring artists should do. Whenever you're feeling creatively inspired, sorry if I'm looking over here, this is my list, and I'm a little awkward right now. I'm a little rusty. Oh, sorry. I'm a little rusty. Anyways, my fellow creativies, if you're ever inspired to do something, please do it, because it's best when it's fresh inside your mind. Anyways, I want to get a few things out of the way because it is the first video of 2024. I just turned 20 a few days ago, or maybe like a week ago at this point. December 26th, if you want to give me a birthday present, if you want to give me a cake, any kind of birthday present would be massively appreciated. So comment down below your favorite Voltfirecore moment, your favorite thing you love about me. Let me feel the love. Feel the love. Anyways, yeah, because I turned 20 and it's also 2024, and last year I did like a 2023 walk, which was a video where I just talked about what I did over the year. I'm gonna have a little bit of that before I jump inside of the list. So maybe there's something on the screen right now to like what time you could skip to. You could do that if you want to. But mostly it's gonna be about the 3x3, but I also wanted to get a little bit of this cool stuff out of the way. Cool stuff. It ain't cool. It's gonna be very emotional and dramatic. It's not gonna be too long, so stick around if you want. If not, go to 3x3. It's gonna be just as scuffed as this. But I wanted to talk a little bit about 2023, which this was a very big growth year for me. I mentioned instead of my 2022, well, it was technically 2023, but the one I made at the beginning of that year, I was very like, 2022 was great, but 2023, I'm gonna focus more on kind of like putting myself out there more, which I did do, and got a bunch of cool experiences during that year. And 2024, I'm gonna turn this away because I'm awkwardly looking at it. 2024 is already shaping up to be a very cool year. Also, if you see anything back there, any shadow demons from there or there, those are not other people. That's my head in there. But if you do see anyone, comment down below if there's an eldritch horror wandering behind me, getting ready to blow my back out. Anyways, yeah, so great year, but looking forward to 2024. That's pretty much it for the year thing. And also, now that I'm 20, it's, you know, it's the end of a decade. I was mentioning inside of my 2023 walk that I was going to make a video being like, I am officially 20 years old, because Markiplier made a video like that, and I really love that video. The one he made when he turned 30 was like really powerful for me to watch, which I probably should watch it now that I've turned 20. Again, like, it's just like a time. I'm gonna bring my hands up a little bit because I'm doing a lot of waving but not a lot of showing it. It's like a weird time thing. It's like, does it really matter that, oh, you're 1 year older now, and now it's technically from our human clock, now you're 20 years old. So 20, that's a decade. To me, it's like a thing of change, but it doesn't have to be. You can change yourself at any point inside your life. It's just when you're doing like 10-year increments, it's something you could be like, what did I do over 10 to 20? Pretty much jack shit. But I'm building up for a very strong entrance into my 20s, but no one knows who they are at any point inside of their life. No one is truly like, I know exactly who I am as a person, because we're constantly growing. That's why the wise old man will always be like, yeah, when I was younger, I always thought I had it figured out, but even now I don't have it figured out. Which I say wise old man because my dad's like 70, and he has wise information like that about not holding yourself to like, all right, I'm 20, where's my life going right now? But again, I do want to make progress in those things. So why not make a 9x9? I don't know why I decided 9x9 or the favorite video games was going to be what I wanted to do, but I'm feeling a little bit nostalgic and I wanted to get this video out of the way. And also, I had a feeling it'll probably do better for like thumbnail making, algorithm, and all that if the video's a little bit better than a 2024 talk with all of you. No, you guys want to see my childhood, which I actually like 10 days ago, I think it was the day after I turned 20 or something. Sorry if I'm wiping my nose. I think I'm bleeding a little bit, mostly because I've been blowing my nose too much. You don't want to hear that. That's kind of disgusting. I made a video reading my old diary and looking at my old like school yearbook kind of thing, which was very great, but it was also an 1.5 hour long video, and a lot of it was just like, look, it's me as a chick, me as a child. So if you do ever want to see those videos, please give me more reason to do that, more reason to edit it, because I can experience it. I enjoyed looking at them, but I didn't desire to actually edit the video. Anyways, whatever. Let's jump into the 3x3, which it's just gonna like pop up right here, and you can look at it. So there it is. If you want to end the video right now and you know what all of these are, yeah, I don't know how they're ordered. It's probably like boop, 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 boop. Yeah, actually, you won't know the order unless you watch the video, unless YouTube did like automatic timestamps or something. But whatever, let's just talk about these videos right here. Let's talk about these video games right here. So starting at the bottom and working our way up to the top, we're gonna start with Pokemon Omega Ruby, which you can already probably tell like how the thing's going. So now you probably know the order too, or maybe you need the second one for that. I don't know. Pokemon Omega Ruby was a Pokemon game, of course, that I put an insane amount of time into, and it was the one that I think really kicked off me enjoying the game. And if you don't know, my entire channel for like a 1.5 year period was just me playing Pokemon Showdown, which it was fun. Also, so 1 second, I had to close the door to my room. There was not only the fan turning on, but there's still people inside the house trying to sleep, and I don't think anyone wants to hear me rant about games. But yeah, I played Pokemon Omega Ruby for an extremely long time. I really enjoyed the game, mostly because it had like so many, not DLC, but so many like legendary Pokemon that you can find. And of course there were some stupid ones, like you had to have like a Pokemon with Never Melt Ice, and then you could find like Regice or Regice. And I just have a lot of fond memories of like looking on YouTube guides, watching like all these original PokeTubers inside my crazy like Pokemon arc that I had. And Omega Ruby was the one that I also played with like family members and traded a bunch inside of. And I've never completed a full Pokédex, but I got close with Omega Ruby, and I think I completed the regional decks. But it was just a really, really fun game. I'm gonna stop looking at. I don't know if you said that, but I don't know why looking at that's gonna make it any better for the video to look over there. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm just trying to start my heart a little bit because right now I'm lacking the passion that I want for this video. But then again, it doesn't really need to be too passionate since this is a video talking about my youth, so I can be a little bit more chill about it. So yeah, that's it for Pokemon Omega Ruby. It is at the bottom because I think while I do like other Pokemon games a lot more, and I have more like nostalgia, I guess, playing like Pokemon Moon, going on like, I've mentioned this a bunch of times, I went on like road trips with my family, and I would always like start a Nuzlocke in Pokemon Moon, always pick Primarina, my favorite starter Pokemon, and it was just like every single time. I don't know how I never got bored of it, because playing Pokemon games from the beginning, especially like The 3DS ones was kind of like, not much happened. You were just moving like extremely slow. So yeah, I don't know how I enjoyed that, but I played so much Pokemon that it just kind of blended with my life. And then of course, I was mentioning that before I closed the door, but I had an entire part of my YouTube channel just be making Pokemon Showdown videos, which, while I don't really think the content is ever that good, and you know, it's just like, it's random Pokemon Showdown videos of someone who's not that good at the game, I think it really kind of improved. It gave me an outlet to be creative, which I didn't really have the will inside my heart to like make videos that were a little bit more complex. I was never gonna make a random game video. Like I made a few, but I was never gonna like show my face or anything. I just like could sit down and dedicate my time to this thing, which, you know, looking back on it, I probably could have dedicated it to other things, but for me, it was the outlet that I needed. That got a little deep, so now let's jump into a game that has nothing to do with this channel, or at least a little bit, but a lot to do with my childhood. Number 8 on the list is Super Smash Bros. Brawl, which is the first Smash Bros. Game that I ever played. I've only ever played 2 of them, Ultimate and Smash Brawl, which back inside the glory days of like trolling on Smash 4, or like whatever the hard mode was it like Elite Smash? It was like the Smash 4 version of Elite Smash. For glory, yeah, for glory, like trolling and all that, like Nintendo and like all the OG like Smash Bros YouTubers made all these videos that I really enjoyed, and I always tried to like copy what they were doing in Brawl, because I didn't have a Switch at the time or a Wii U, so I was just, well, there wasn't Smash Ultimate yet, and that was a whole like hype cycle that I was really excited for. I have lots of fond memories looking at the website and being like, oh my god, that's from Castlevania, so who are they going to add for Castlevania? Because they like leaked stuff early, and it was just an entire cycle of the hype cycle of Ultimate. But I played so much Brawl, I think I had like at least like 4,000 hours into that, just like playing on the Wiimotes. I never like got a good controller, and the nunchucks were always broken, so it was just me and my brother just playing with like Toon Link and like spamming moves and thinking we were like hot shit, like all the pros. But very good times, really enjoyed that game. And it wasn't just that area, we actually played it a lot earlier, like 2 houses before like we actually got it for real, because we got it from like a rental shop, and it was we were just playing through Subspace, and then for some reason the Wii remembered like our save data, so we were able to like continue from that. But just playing Subspace was a really nostalgic thing for me, because I also used to like play pretend with myself and like pretend I was inside of Subspace, because I thought it was a really cool story. I never really experienced a game outside of that, because I didn't really play that many games. It was kind of just like a few games on this list, like one other, and then that was like the only thing I played. So a game had like a story and cutscenes, and seeing like, I'm not gonna spoil Subspace for you, but that one character that's a robot that like takes off the thing and like it burns. This is going nowhere. I'm just ranting and raving, but the cutscenes were epic, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just like, when I think about it, I have this vivid memory of, it was one of the shadow versions of Bowser, and I was trying to beat him, and I was also putting up Christmas lights at my old house, and my mom was ranting and raving about not stepping on the lights, because if one light breaks, they'll never work. But they were plastic bulbs, so I don't know what she was talking about, but she was just talking about that, and I would like sit on the carpet just like, ooh, I'm beating Bowser, and then I beat Bowser, and then we put up the Christmas tree, and it was, I don't know, it's just, I feel something, man, about that particular game. And also, I have another memory of beating Subspace Emissary, which ends with like this giant like maze puzzle, and I don't know how I did it, because I don't think I looked up a guide for it. I think I just like brute forced my way through, and then I beat not Galeem, but like Yondo, whatever, the blue bald guy with the wings, the final boss of Smash Brawl. I remember beating that with Yoshi, and I was just like, oh my god, this is life. I'm living life right now. And my parents wanted to like go on like a trip So I was like, oh, I beat it, and now I can go on a trip without this weight on my mind. But yeah, this is getting a lot more nostalgic than I thought it would be. Speaking of nostalgia, number 7 we have is Minecraft. You saw the list; it was gonna be there. I'm revealing these like you haven't already seen them, but maybe you really care about what I think about this, because there's no way in hell I'm gonna edit this video and put like the little thing right here and then like visuals, because I don't want to do that. I just want to make a video. I'm feeling creative and ready for creative endeavors. Anyways, the next one we have is Minecraft, which obviously I have Minecraft, one of the greatest games ever made. Like, not much to deny that. There's just so much that you can do inside of that, but it's not really the game. Well, like, of course it's the game that I really enjoy, and I have a lot of good like worlds and memories of playing with my brother, which I actually have a video on my channel from like 4 months ago where me and Dunce went back and checked out some of these old Minecraft worlds that I had when I was like 11 or something. So if you want to watch that video, you can. It's not really a good video, but it has a lot of nostalgic builds from when I was younger, and I mostly made that just because if my Xbox died or the disc died, I wanted to make sure I preserved those memories, which YouTube could blow up at any point too. But yeah, if you want more about why I like Minecraft, probably a whole shit ton of it inside there. But yeah, Minecraft is the thing that got me started on watching YouTube, because my mom gave me her phone, and then I was looking on YouTube, and then I found a random Minecraft video. That was before I had any kind of Minecraft anything. So then I was watching Stampy Longhead, and then eventually I got Minecraft Lite, which I don't know if any of you have ever played Minecraft Lite, but it has like, it's like the weirdest thing. It has like survival and creative mode, but inside of creative there's only like brick, wood, wool, shovel, pickaxe, and sword, and that was like all the stuff you had. So I would just like dig down in a little hole and be like, this sucks. And in survival I was too scared to play because the zombies freaked me out. So I would just like wander around and get like beat up by them and be like, oh my god, this game's terrifying. But then one Christmas, or I think it was my birthday. My birthday's right after Christmas, which my family doesn't really celebrate Christmas, but we kind of like give gifts around that time anyways. But I vividly remember the time that me and my brother got an Xbox 360 just to play Minecraft. Like, there were a few games on there. I think we had a Wii at the time. We did. But it was mostly just Minecraft why we got this Xbox, which... So my mom had this genius idea of like making us open all like the discs first and being like, oh, it says Xbox 360, and she was like, oh no, did I get the wrong one? You guys have a Wii, right? And we were like, oh, it's okay, Mom, it's okay. And then we had to open them and be like, oh, it's another one. Well, it's fine, Mom. We were very nice. I think we could have been a lot more bratty about that, but I remember vividly being all like, no, it's fine. Oh, it's another one, but that's fine. And she was like, oh, I can return them. And then there was this big box, and I don't know how my little brain didn't put it together, but we opened up and we were like, Xbox 360! And then we played Minecraft for like a crazy amount of time, and my brother had like a whole like saga of his life being on Xbox Live, and I was picking my nose inside my room watching anime at that time. But Minecraft holds a lot of memories. By just like existing, playing it was really fun, but it was mostly just like the part of my childhood. So Minecraft is number 7. Next we have something that's a little, like, all these are probably pretty nostalgic instead of like, apart from like the top 3, because yeah, most of them are just like, oh, this is a time of my life that when I think about like the games that I really enjoyed, it's like, yeah, they were fun, but like Breath of the Wild, very fun game. I have a lot of nostalgic memories for that. But I don't think it would ever be on like a 3x3 for me, because while I really enjoyed it, it was like a really solitary thing, and during that time, I especially didn't like how I acted as a person and who I was as a person. Like, I remember, this is getting on a total tangent, but I had just gotten a Switch. Me and my brother just got a Switch, and we had Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Breath of the Wild. And I was just spamming Breath of the Wild, just playing it. And I had like the classic older brother thing of not letting the younger brother play the game, so I was being a total hog with that. But then it was around the holidays, and my parents wanted to go on a walk, and it was the slushiest, most disgusting weather. But to me now, like, especially during the holiday, you have to go on the holiday walk with your family. That's just like what you do. You go on a holiday walk, you talk about the year, that's the tradition. But I was so invested inside the game that I was just like grumbling the whole way, which, I don't know, that one moment puts a sour taste inside my mouth, because I 100% of the game. I put an insane amount of time into Breath of the Wild, but the person I was at the time was not the best. But anyways, we're not talking about that. We're talking about another nostalgic game. We have Kirby Planet Robobot. I can pull it up right here. It's inside the back. Kirby, it's probably backwards. Kirby Planet Robobot, which I think Kirby used to be like my favorite game of all time. Kirby's Return to Dreamland, because we had it on the Wii, played it like a million times with my brother. I guess I could give you another memory, but it was back at our old house, and like we had a bunch of family over, and of course me and my brother were just like down inside the basement playing Kirby, and then they went on like a concert, because it was like someone really famous who was like, oh my god, they're inside of our random town, so of course they had to go. And it was also like my grandma's birthday, so it was like her birthday present. And we stayed home, and instead of like falling asleep or anything, we just spammed through a Kirby, which we just got because we had the game before at like a much older house and beat like the base game of it, but it was a rental, so we couldn't play it again. And then when we finally got it, we played on the extra mode, and that's why when Kirby's Return to Dreamland came on the Switch, I was really excited to play it because it's an extremely nostalgic game. But I really like Kirby Planet Robobot more as a game, because it has like almost the same memories as Kirby's Return to Dreamland, but again, when I was that age, it kind of has some bad memories inside of there. So the Kirby Planet Robot ones were a really kind of like peaceful time. I think I got it on my 16th birthday, which I think so, maybe 16th or 15th or something. Probably not, probably younger, because I started my YouTube channel when I was like just about to turn 16. So I kind of hope that I wasn't like, can I have a Kirby game? Because like, it's fine, I love Kirby games, but I don't know, 16 seems like a little, I don't know, it doesn't really seem like a 16-year-old birthday present. I think I got condoms for my 16th birthday, but whatever. I got it for my birthday, and it was just an extremely fun game. Played it on a bunch of road trips because I had it on my DS, and it was like, oh yeah, this is so much fun. And not only it has the nostalgia from like Kirby, but it's also just a really polished game, because Kirby Triple Deluxe kind of like started the like 3D back and forth, like two planes, like you can walk here and then you can walk like right here. Kirby Planet Robot kind of like mastered that. And I also have a lot of memories of at my in this room that I am right now. I used to play on my DS and just like spam games, like spam Pokemon X and Y. And one of the things I did, I don't know why I did this and how I had like the patience to do these random things, but I was playing Kirby Planet Robobot, and inside the training mode, like not even like playing the game, because I like beat most of the game, I would just go inside the training, sorry, oh my god, I'm talking too much. I went into the training mode, and then I would like become the robots and just like experiment with all the powers on the test dummy and be like, whoa, let's like master all the moves that you can use, which was extremely fun. And I have a lot of memories of doing that. So yeah, goddamn, this is becoming a long video, but this is also becoming a rant. But again, I made this YouTube channel just to have these kind of memory capsules in time. So there we go. The next game we have, in summary, Kirby Planet Robot is an extremely fun game that holds a lot of nostalgia for me, and it's also just a really polished Kirby game. Like, while I like Kirby's Return to Dreamland, while I like Kirby's Triple Deluxe, Kirby's Epic Yarn and all that, Kirby Planet Robot is the one that I can kind of go back to and be like, yeah, this is extremely fun to play along with that. Which now we're getting inside like the stuff that isn't just nostalgia. Like, while I do like Smash Brawl and Omega Ruby and Minecraft and all that, I don't really play them as much now. These are still games that I can like, the ones from this point up, I can go back to and be like, yeah, this is like scratching both itches of like nostalgia and fun to play. But this one also has a lot of nostalgia. The next one, which is a random one, you probably saw it on the list and was like, what? What is that? Unless you have been watching my channel for the past few years, because it's a yearly tradition for me and to Dunce to play, I forgot the name, Pac-Man Party for the Wii, which is like a Mario Party clone, but it has like some weird like Monopoly elements, because you like build houses. I don't really know, it might be a ripoff of something, but just the fact that my aunt randomly got it for me one Christmas when I was like 10, along with like Super Mario Galaxy, and my aunt was like a boss when it came to like giving gifts. My mom, shout out to her, very nice, but she got me Jeopardy for the Wii, which I played religiously, Jeopardy for the Wii, but it was not no Mario Kart, it was not no Galaxy, and it was specifically and definitely not Pac-Man Party, which me and my brother have put so much time into over the years. It's just a really fun game. You can see me and Dunce playing that and being all like, whoa, this is so nostalgic and also really fun and cool, because it's an extremely fun game. It just has so much like hatred baked into it for over the years. It's just like such like a power move to like win the yearly Pac-Man Party, because the game's pretty fun. There's so many different mini games. I don't really know why I like it so much, but it's to the point where it's so baked into like my being of liking Pac-Man Party, and someone being like, what the fuck is that? And be like, you haven't played Pac-Man Party? Come over to my house. We're gonna play Pac-Man Party for the Wii. This is your initiation into being a homie or something. But I also might get a tattoo of Pac-Man Party on my body because I like it that much. I don't know what I get though. Also, sorry about my voice being a little bit more hoarse right now. I don't know why. It's getting worse. Over the course of this video, I'm talking too much. So I knew that was gonna happen. All right, yeah, that's why I like Pac-Man Party. Nostalgia, fun game. You should play it. Not the one on the 3DS. I remember Scott the Waz made a video talking about like old Nintendo 3DS games, and I think he mentioned Pac-Man Party on the 3DS and said it was shit. And then the little thing inside my brain that made me want to go cruising for a bruise was like, Scott, I love your videos. You are such a lovable being, but how dare you? How dare you talk about Pac-Man Party like that? So if you haven't ever seen it, go watch some gameplay, go watch our footage of it, since I am the best Pac-Man Party player of all time. Which I haven't even played the story mode, we just play the versus mode, but it's baked in nostalgia and it's a fun game. Next up, we have one that's extremely like kind of weird for me, because I don't really know if I like the game as much as I did when I was younger, but it's just like, I don't know, I made it my entire personality about this game, which is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I love Xenoblade. I pretty much love every single game inside the series. I've never played X, but it's just very complex stories. I love JRPGs, very fun. It had a gacha element inside of Xenoblade 2, which made it just like soaked in replayability and just like an infinite amount of content. There's like the affinity trees to like level up each little node on every single blade, which was extremely annoying because some of them were like, use your special 4 times, which is like, alright, and then other ones were like, go kill this unique monster that can only be around at 2 o'clock on this random island 17 times, and you're like, oh, fun, super great. So a lot of like looking at wikis for this, but the game also really kind of like changed me as a gamer, because I never really experienced a game that had that much story. And also there's a funny story of like how I got the game, which I think I've mentioned. I had a series like a year or 2 ago where I tried to play all of Xenoblade 2 uncut, and I made it through 3 chapters of the 10 chapter game. And I probably have mentioned all of this a bunch of times because, you know, those 5-hour videos, each one, I probably said something about my history with this game. But I actually got the game when my dad was going to get his like wisdom teeth removed or something. He was going through like a very serious like operation, but it was actually in the mall, so I don't think it was that serious actually, but it was some kind of tooth set thing at the dentist in the mall. which we were just wandering around and we're like, ooh, GameStop. So we walked in there and then picked up Xenoblade Chronicles 2 because literally the day of, I was like, oh, let's look at the eShop and see what kind of stuff, which I think it was like my first time looking at the eShop pretty much, and I saw Mithra's face from Xenoblade just like smack dab in there. I was like, anime girl? And then I got the game the day that I saw it. I played it. At that point, I don't know how old I was when I got it. Probably pretty young, but I put like 1,000 hours into the game and all. Some of the early videos on my channel are talking about like speedrunning it, since I really wanted to speedrun this game for some reason. And I know a lot of people have like things about this game, or like they don't really like the game that much because the character designs are really in your face and really annoying, which I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to deny it. If you're inside of like a really emotional scene and you see the fucking red booty short lady just standing there and you're like, okay, first of all, my mom just walked in. I really want her to think this game's a little bit better than that. And then also they're inside of a very emotional scene, which I'm not, if you played the game, you know there's like 1,000, which is like, oh, it would be nice if my head was not being shoved up someone's anus. But, you know, it's the same thing as a lot of games. They want it to have the like eye candy effect, because in all honesty, Xenoblade 2 kind of saved the Xenoblade series, so good on the character designs, but the story is also really amazing. I love that story. It's not as good as some other stories later inside the list, which there's a few. Yeah, there's 3 more games. But Xenoblade 2 just has so much time that I put into it, and I made it so much of my personality just to play this game, like master this game. And I watched a bunch of videos on it as well. One second, I need to get a little sniffle in. That was probably disgusting sounding, but I just gained the ability to breathe because of that. But yeah, Xenoblade 2, very fun game. You should play it. All 3 are on the Switch at this point, so if you do want to play a Xenoblade game, it's probably the one that's like most entry level, I guess. I would recommend before you play the 3rd game to play at least one of the originals, because it kind of improves the quality of the later game. But that's for you to decide. Next up, we have one that is not actually, a lot of these are Nintendo games I'm noticing, but this one is not a Nintendo game. We have, I don't even know how to pronounce this one because I know there's a lot of purists out there, but the Somnium Files Nirvana Initiative, specifically the 2nd game inside the AI or I series, it's a really weird game. I'm not even going to talk about it that much because it's kind of like a Danganronpa, like murder mystery kind of thing, but it's really filled with like sciencey tech. The premise of the game is just you go inside of people's dreams to kind of uncover the mysteries. And oh my god, I played it like last year, or maybe it was even this year that I played it. Yeah, I think it was like January of 23 or something that I played the 1st game, and over the summer I played the 2nd game, which right here on the list it says the 2nd game is my favorite, but I think they're pretty much tied. They're very different games, which you could play them all separately, but be sure to play the 1st game first, because you can get some really funny like secrets if you put in like some of the information from the 1st game into the 2nd game. They're like, oh, you know your stuff, now we can like give you some extra content, so definitely do that. But it's just like the writing's really fun, and I've never really played like a murder mystery like that, and because it's not like an extremely popular one, I was not spoiled at all, and I was able to make my way through this being like, what? And also the writing, I think I said that before, but the writing is just so funny, and the characters are amazing, and it's just like this weird like 3D, like all the characters are just like totally off the walls. They don't really act like real people. They're just like total caricatures, but that's perfectly fine. And at some of the points inside of some of the dramatic moments, it gets a little like schlocky with like, all right, all these characters have guns pointed at them, and they're just like, dodge the bullets with your hands, and it's a fun ride all the way around. But the story And specifically the mystery that you uncover is one that, well, not everyone may like. At least for me, I was engrossed inside of these two games. So play AI, the Somnium Files. I used to call it the Satomi Files. It is not the Satomi Files. It's the Somnium Files, because you go inside of people's brains. All right, that's all I'm going to talk about for that game, because I really don't want to spoil any more about these wonderful games. Next up, we actually have two games that have been battling at the top for a very, very long time, which at the point of recording this is actually not when I made this 3x3. I made this actually back inside of November, because at that point I was like, all right, at some point I'll make a really highly edited video to talk about this 3x3. Which, as you can tell, this is a very highly edited video about this 3x3. But these two games, I don't really know which one should be on top, so I think I'll just talk about how the list is ordered and then talk about how I think it should be switched at this point. But the next game on the list is, you saw it. You saw the list. I don't know why I'm acting like this, but the next one on the list, not my actual thoughts at the time, is Nier Automata, which is a insane game that I have never played anything like it, well, except like Nier Replicant, which was a fun game. I understand why people like it more, but the gameplay for Nier Replicant is just not that fun. I'm sorry. And I don't think I've even got like the last ending, because you have to like collect all the weapons and you have to like do all the side quests. So yeah, that one, it kind of fell off my radar, but I played that game very fully. Nier Replicant. I also played Nier Automata a lot, which Nier Automata holds like a very special place inside of my channel and my heart, because I originally got the game because most people have probably seen like art of 2B and 9S. It's just like these random blindfolded like people, and you're like, all right, what's this game about? And then you see them just like, oh, look at that crazy art. This game must be like super popular, and it is. But then you play it and you're like, okay, this is a little bit more like dramatic than I thought it would be. And I actually decided to do a blind playthrough for my channel, which is like the first time I've ever done a blind playthrough. I think so. Yeah, I don't think I've ever done a blind playthrough apart from that one. And I made like 7 episodes, and I do not like any of those videos. The thumbnails are garbage. You can find them if you want. It's like me with my shirt off being like, I'm a goofy guy standing next to a character. But it fits so well with how my way of thinking changed from when I first got the game to how I think about it now. Because when I first got Nier Automata, I thought it was going to be like, oh, this is sexy sword lady, because like all the titles of the videos are like hot robot desires my beautiful face, and I just was inside the corner, and that was like the thumbnail and how I talked about the characters inside of it. But after I kept playing, I was like, huh, all right. This is not what I think really works with a blind playthrough, which is why I stopped doing the series, because after it was this one point where not only my commentary was awful, but we just lost a character, and we were like, oh god, we gotta find this character. And I was like, I don't want to talk like a YouTuber when I'm playing this game, because at least inside of that point of my YouTube career, I didn't really know how to talk that well while playing games. So I haven't watched them in a long time. I just know how I was feeling while playing it. I bet they're terrible. But anyways, this is totally all over the place. But now my opinion of Nier Automata is so much different, because the game is like, it's just like a philosophical, like crazy mindfuck with so many like intricacies about like human nature, even though there's no like humans, and it's just like all the characters act like people, and they're like in this world, which totally fits, because the whole point of it is like, this is inside the beginning of the game. 2B says like, what kind of god put us inside this world? I hope we'll have the chance to kill him. Which, if you will ever beat the game, you'll know that that's like a, huh, there you go, that intro fits. But it's just, I I can't really verbalize it too well, but I've played the game like 2 times, and I have a save file right now that I'm trying to 100% it because I've never 100% the game, because how the game works, I'm not gonna like spoil or anything, but getting to the end of the game for me is usually like, all right, I'm done. I just kind of want to like see the final cutscene, and I'm like, all right, I'm done with it. But this time I'm trying to be like, all right, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna 100% this, because the side quests have their own things of being like, damn. Yeah, that's how I should like phrase this. Every single thing inside this game is like, damn, okay, now I'm sad while playing this game. But also, it's just an extremely fun game. Like, the gameplay is amazing. And it's probably why I think that it's my favorite game of all time, but it's neck and neck with the next one on the list, which is November me thought this was my favorite game, being Xenoblade Chronicles 3. You saw it on the 3x3 earlier. I'm sorry, I'm talking so much that my throat is like really getting scratchy, so I'm gonna finish this up. But of course I have to talk a lot about Xenoblade 3, which used to be my favorite game of all time, and it might be when I replay it sometime soon, because I actually have not replayed the story since I beat it, which there's a whole like story about why I like played this game and why I like this game. But let's talk about like the gameplay. The gameplay's amazing. The story, especially with the DLC, it's just like, if you've played any of the Xenoblade games, it's all a part of like a certain saga. It's not Xenosaga, but there's like an entire story inside of the 3 games. Xenoblade 1, Xenoblade 2, and Xenoblade 3. If you play all of them, it tells a very concrete narrative. And then of course there's like all the DLC on there, which slapped together creates a wild ride that when you finish it inside of Xenoblade 3, you're like, oh my god, all of this ties so perfectly together. It's confusing as shit, but it's just a beautiful story. I really love the characters, and of course the gameplay. I mentioned before that I put 600 hours into Xenoblade 2. I didn't do that just because I wanted to like speedrun the game. I did that because I thought it was very satisfying to play, which I have a video on my channel from like 2 years ago where I was talking about my favorite unique monsters, and you can kind of hear me nerd out a little bit, being all like, yes, this is a character that really requires you to add a break effect, and then you could do like a fusion combo, and this is the best fusion combo character. And I have like a super old video. If you sort by oldest, I'm talking about my favorite Xenoblade 2 blades, and I'm like, yes, this character is also known as the skunk hair girl. I thought that was really funny. I don't think it's funny anymore, but yeah. Oh my god. The gameplay has kept me entranced in Xenoblade 3, and I'm not even going to tell you too much about the story because I don't really want to spoil anything, but it's just like, it's the perfect conclusion to all 3 games, and it really just like caps off this entire Chronicles in one like tight package. And it also has like a very solid DLC at the end of it that you can play, which also kind of finishes it off, which the creative director of the Xenoblade games, or the creative director of Monolith Soft, I don't really know how to phrase it, but while this ends like this story, I am very excited to see what they do with Xenoblade Chronicles inside the future, because all the games like Xenosaga, Xenogears, Xenoblade X, they all kind of have like this weird like feeling of like melancholy, and they're so like sad. Of course they have like goofy moments, especially in like Xenoblade 2, but yeah, Xenoblade 3 just really it's a really great game. And during the lead up of that, I made a video of like watching a trailer of it and being like, oh, this is the best game ever, because there's like so much stuff you can do. And at that point I was more like focused on the gameplay and of course like a little bit of the story, but the story really sells it for the top 2, Nier Automata and Xenoblade 3. Totally different kind of games, because Nier Automata, while I love the story, it's more of like the emotion I get from that, because the person who made Nier Automata, Yoko Taro, the whole point of their games is the feeling of them. So whenever you're like trying to make an analysis video, Yoko Taro's like, you can do that, but I made that pretty much just to give like an emotional feel for the player, not like a concrete story to go through, which I really appreciate. And Xenoblade 3 does have some of those kind of like, oh, this is just here for emotional impact, but it tells a much more like concrete story, all filled together. And there's a lot of people who spend a lot of time like diving into like the meaning of certain things and like the mythology of like, oh, this character represents this thing and all that in Xenoblade 3. But I want to end it off talking about Xenoblade 3 with a story about how I actually played the game, which has extreme kind of weird, it's definitely going to make a weird memory for me inside the future, because I played Xenoblade 3 like the day it came out, but the day it came out is also the day me and my family were going on a trip to Hawaii, which this was like the first time in my life that I've ever been like across the sea, I guess. Which I know Hawaii is a state, but that's kind of like America being like, mine, mine, mine. So it was pretty much my first time being like out of the country. I've been to like Idaho and Oregon, and that's pretty much all I've been to in my entire life. Yeah, pretty much. I've never been like anywhere else. But we went to Hawaii, and it was a very fun experience. We were able to celebrate my grandparents' like wedding anniversary. It was a very beautiful thing. Very fun memories. But I spent a lot of the time during this trip playing Xenoblade 3, which we were there for 2 weeks, and I played the game for one day, and then the next day we were in Hawaii, and then we were there for 2 weeks, and then the day I came back from Hawaii, I was watching the last cutscene. And I just like, it was such a blur to like play this game, which is why I totally want to play it again, because I have like, when I like think about the game and like the certain plot beats inside of there that made me like bawl my eyes out because they were extremely sad, or the stuff that was like, whoa, this is really cool and epic, it was all me inside of like the dark at like 3 a.m. in the morning with everyone else inside of the little condo that we had asleep, me being like, wow, this is really sad. And then I like was tired for the rest of the trip because I was just constantly playing this game. But yeah, it's kind of a really weird thing, and especially because it was timed during this this trip. I don't know, it has weird emotions for me, because while I really did enjoy the trip, when I think about the trip, I think about playing Xenoblade 3 for hours. So yeah, I think those two can pretty much be interchanged depending on like how I'm feeling right now, because it's like, I mentioned this inside like the intro section, but because I turned 20 and it's the new year, I'm being all like philosophical and being all deep inside my way of thinking. So Nier Automata is inside my head right now. But if I play Xenoblade Chronicles 3, like the feeling of like hope and I'm feeling like triumphant, I'll probably really really enjoy playing that game, and that might be my favorite. But yeah, that is my 3x3 of all the video games that I thought deserved to be on this list. Of course, I've played a lot more, and this might change. If I think about it, there's some games that I think probably could have been on the list. Maybe Kirby Planet Robobot, maybe that should have been Kirby's Return to Dreamland, maybe there should have been other games on there. But at least for me, this feels pretty full. And while this was just like I took a screenshot of my phone and sent it over to my computer, because that's how fast this video is like just like schlocked together. But I did this like on the toilet, like, what games do I like? Oh, I like that game. And then I kind of like messed around with it a little bit. But I mostly wanted to make this video to not only jump back into making YouTube videos, but also just to talk a little bit, because I'm feeling nostalgic. I'm feeling a little bit, well, I don't even think it's nostalgic. I don't really know what I'm feeling. It's a new year, new me, and I wanted to start it off with, again, I wanted to say like some happy thoughts of life, but this wasn't a total happy video. This was supposed to just be like me talking about the games I like, and it became something so much more. But I hope you got something out of this video. If you're not a family member or someone who really cares about what I think, why are you watching this video? I don't really know why you are, but I appreciate it nonetheless, because well, no one's gonna watch this video. No one is gonna watch 51 minutes into this random video unless I get popular enough that people go back and watch my videos that I made in the past and be like, yeah, he was cringy back then, but we're all cringy inside of our pasts. I'm wearing a Pizza Cat shirt, so this is probably going to be really bad on my record. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this video, so thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and keep on the lookout for my videos.